Once in dying daylight's embers, I went walking, faint and friendless, through the streets where my pretenses were a stalking seer's bore. Lit by pallid moonlight searching, though my heels were hot and hurting, and no flicker at the curtain spelled an isolating tour. Not a faintly flickered spectre could unset my gaping maw. With mind that wrought its kneading, and my soul no fires easing, as if captured by the seasons stained in shadows on the floor. A ghastly ghost it seemed was seeming, a loft of costly reason, a fickle figment in the dreaming of those memories of yore. A stranger now to scenes that made those faded memories of yore. In autumn smoke I shuffled with my collar rough and ruffled, upturned against the muffles of the winds that ripped and clawed. I looked up towards the shutters, keeping out the nightly roars of a house that all my longing held the wanting to implore. Lit by pallid moonlight's stutter, I cast darkness on the door. Stood in moments fleeting, all my confidence retreating, all my consciousness entreating to the darkness at the door. I summoned strength of spirit, and in hope some ear would hear it, though I myself did fear it, I let out a shrieking call. "Is there anybody there?" said I unto the wall, to that gloomy and unmoving vacant eye that stood my call, the barrier keeping safety as it shuts out the world. "Is there anybody there?" I tried to try once more, too afraid to use the knocker that adorned this silent force. And thence after long I waited, all my burdens in me bracing, from the cold that shudders shaken came much harsher than before. Came with howling, whipping whispers from those memories of yore. Until a creaking in the hall, barely audible yet present, brought surety of presence and the promise of some warmth. For a moment all was lifted and hope flooded o'er. Yet still there came no voice above the rampant winds that fought, turning sound to bitter symphonies that I could not consort. Questioned I, what nightly dances break their silence on the floor? Have you heed to hear me, when I sense of you so clearly? Tell me, do you fear me as a voice that fights this storm? Silence there remaining, nothing more to my complaining, the admittance of my waning and the griefs that keep me sore. And as I went repeating, with my heart astride my breathing, I heard that gentle teeter softly creaking in the hall. All my fear and folly swayed me, toiled miles that grit hath laid thee, conjured came a spirit I had long tried to ignore. What unfair, foul and craven could sense this form I'm weighing, leaving silence yet unbreaking gainst the night's undaunted shore? What torrid, spectral listener would sentence me, a prisoner, to this chilling gale I've given all I can, so I endure? As my voice to echo creeping, all my confidence defeated, I turned back into the blackness of the night that shook my core, having hope that faintly creaking would make promise come to score. While still, in full well knowing, in my heart with silence growing, I glanced all that chance was sowing and that liberty had brought. Off go I, insisting, all these woes of mine persisting, to this world of haunted listening that I must endeavour more. Off to putrid moonlit beaming as a phantom limb of reason, leaving no more than a demon casting darkness on the door.